Did you know you can find the United States in Bible prophecy, specifically in Revelation chapter 13? You can also find American Christianity in this chapter, but not in a good way. So in the first half of Revelation chapter 13, we talked about this morning how that beast is the Roman Catholic papacy. But there's a second beast in this chapter, and these two beasts work together in the time of the end to enforce the mark of the beast. Now, if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it, because we discovered that the mark of the beast is when the United States government will force a Sunday law on the nation and the world. That is the mark of the beast. Sunday is not yet the mark of the beast. It is only when it is legislated by the government. But let's talk about the USA. See, the first beast is talked about rising up out of the sea, densely populated area. This second beast, however, is pictured as coming up out of the earth. In fact, that word coming up means to grow. And one of its root words is to pace, which gives us the impression that it's slow growth. And when we look at the United States history, it was a slow-growing nation. There were pilgrims here long before there was ever the Revolutionary War. Now, the Bible says this would be a lamb-like nation, and it would have two horns, but would eventually speak as a dragon. But what do these symbols mean? Well, beasts represent a kingdom in Bible prophecy. Horns represent kingdoms in Bible prophecy. And the dragon represents Satan. And the lamb, Bible tells us, represents Jesus. So this would be a seemingly Christian nation who would have two major characteristics. When the United States was founded, it was a nation without a pope and a nation without a king. Those were the two major things they wanted. But the Bible tells us that it would speak as a dragon. How does a nation speak? Through its laws. Now, the Bible tells us the United States will exercise all the power of the beast who came before it, the papacy. It also shows us that the United States would come about around the time that the papacy received its deadly wound. Now, the 1260-day prophecy, which is also mentioned as the 42 months and the 3.5 years, shows us that they came into dominating power of Europe in 538 AD, and they received their deadly wound in 1798 when the French general took the Pope captive. And the Bible says that this nation will force all who dwell on the earth to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. It will be healed soon. Now here the Bible tells us there will be a false revival of sorts. There will be many great wonders, fire coming down from heaven, many false miracles. And this will cause most people to worship the beast and accept the mark of the beast, the national and global Sunday law. And verse 15 shows that those who don't accept the mark of the beast will suffer economic sanctions and even be threatened with death. Many think this part is not possible, because the USA is supposedly religious freedom, right? But remember, during times of hardship, things were rationed. You had to have proof that you could buy these things. And in this day of technology, it will be so much easier to enforce that. The USA is the second beast. Now, in addition to the United States being in Revelation 13, prophesying as being a major end-time world power, Revelation 13 also prophesies American apostate Protestantism being in this chapter. And the United States, the papacy, and these apostate Protestants will unite together to enforce the mark of the beast, the national and global Sunday law. In Revelation 13:15, it says there will be an image of the beast. The United States will give life to the image of the beast. How so? Have you noticed how in the past few elections, especially, it's become extremely polarized? You have the far left, you have the far right, but you also have the far right evangelicals. And understand, I'm not throwing real Christians under the bus here. But it's also no secret if you look at American Christianity, it's not real Christianity. Now, they are the image to the beast. What is an image? Well, as somebody who is a bit of an amateur photographer myself, an image is a replication of the real thing. So the first beast is the papacy in Revelation 13. So the image of the beast is going to be something extremely similar, almost exactly the same, just slight different. When we study the papacy in medieval Europe, we realize something extremely important here and extremely significant. They ruled Europe. You might think, well, these kings did and these emperors did. No, they had their part, but the papacy ruled Europe with an iron fist. They enforced their religious dogmas and religious laws across all of Western Europe. And because the Bible was outlawed at that time, nobody knew any better. In fact, during the Dark Ages, the papacy had outlawed the Bible so much that you could get the death penalty for having one. The image of the beast is going to be the same way. Just as the Vatican controlled medieval European governments, the image to the beast, apostate Protestantism, is going to control the United States government. You see, we have a pendulum swing. The left goes so far this way, the right goes so far this way, And eventually, here soon, very soon I believe, apostate evangelicalism is going to seize control of the United States government. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel and look for the video entitled A Trip into the Supernatural by Roger Morneau, he was a man who was involved in satanic secret society, and they knew who they were worshiping. They knew they were worshiping Satan. And one of the things that he learned was that as natural disasters and times on this planet get more and more difficult, demon spirits will impress the world population with the importance of a Sunday law. So all these things that are happening, these natural disasters, this civil unrest, everything is gearing towards this Sunday law. So these Christians, these apostate Christians, they're going to see these natural disasters and these hard times as judgments from God. And they're going to see that the only way in their mind that they can think that they can appease God is by a national and global Sunday law. It's going to start here in the United States. But remember, when America sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. Are you ready for that time, my friends? Which side will you be on?